इस्लाम के अंदर सबसे पहले तो खुदकुशी हराम है। खुदकुशी किसी सूरत भी जायज नहीं है। ये भटके हुए नौजवान हैं जो भटक करके इस तरह की हरकतें करते हैं और इस तरह के बयान देते हैं।
जिम्मेदार पोस्टों पर रहकर अगर कोई ये कह देगा कि अब तो 5 अगस्त के बाद में जाओ कश्मीर की लड़कियों को लूट लो, वो आपका माल है, कहीं ना कहीं उस तरह की जनरेशन को टच करता है।
आरएसएस भी कहाँ न कहाँ हिंदू आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा देती है, ऐसा मेरा कहना है। लेकिन इस्लाम के नाम से अगर कोई करता होगा वो गलत बात है।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Rarely does an 80-second video uncover a blueprint in as much detail as what suicide bomber Dr. Umar Nabi's undated clip has. The same man who was at the wheels of the car that exploded near Red Fort, killing over a dozen people, is seen in this clip talking about the act of suicide bombing. He starts in a heavy English accent and speaks about martyrdom operations, almost like trying to glorify the act of self-bombing while citing religious sanction for the dastardly act. He mentions how there are certain misconceptions around suicide bombing and that the concept is known in Islam. Watch this mind-numbing tape where a radicalized mind tries to turn a mass murder into a virtue sanctioned by religion.
One of the very misunderstood concept is concept of what has been labeled as suicide bombing. It is martyrdom operations, and it is being known in Islam. There are multiple contraindications, but there are multiple arguments that have been brought against it. Martyrdom operations. When a person presumes that he is going for sure die at a particular place at a particular time, he goes against the presumption that a particular is going to die in a particular situation.
It is quite unsettling how Umar, an assistant professor in the General Medicine Department of Al Falah University, a trained doctor sworn to save lives, coolly argues that suicide terror isn't merely permissible, it is actually noble. He speaks like a man on a divine mission, desperate to romanticize a massacre. The only time he seems to be losing his cool is towards the end, where he struggles to articulate his thoughts, falters, rambles, and then abruptly concludes the recording. It seems like Umar is rehearsing his statement before releasing a more polished version. Sources now say that this was exactly that, a trial run for a version his module planned to release after the blast. A grotesque justification for mass murder. Piecing together the evidence and statements on the November 10 car blast, sources say that the terror module was planning multiple powerful blasts, possibly timed around the anniversary of the demolition on the disputed Babri Masjid structure on 6th of December. The video appears to have been shot in the premises of Al Falah University, Faridabad, where Umar had been working since 2023, and agencies are now trying to verify the date when this was shot. A similar video had also been made by Pulwama suicide bomber Adil Ahmed Dar back in 2019 to justify the mass murders. All this becomes significant if you see that agencies have found that Umar was grooming Jasir Bilal Wani as a suicide bomber too. But in April this year, Jasir backed out, saying suicide by fire was haram in Islam. Jasir, who has now been termed as an active co-conspirator in the 10/11 terror carnage, was providing technical support by modifying drones and attempting to make rockets ahead of the bomb blast, perhaps orchestrating an October 7 Hummer style attack in India. These terrorists are clear in their intent: radicalization, mass destruction, and subsequent glorification. But what is inexplicable is the intent of our politicians, the ecosystem that refuses to condemn these terror masterminds, the lobby that cannot muster the courage to unequivocally denounce this blatant brainwashing in the name of religion, and the apologists who in a cold-blooded murderer see a misguided youth.
इस्लाम के अंदर सबसे पहले तो खुदकुशी हराम है। खुदकुशी किसी सूरत भी जायज नहीं है। ये भटके हुए नौजवान हैं जो भटक करके इस तरह की हरकतें करते हैं और इस तरह के बयान देते हैं।
जिम्मेदार पोस्टों पर रहकर अगर कोई ये कह देगा कि अब तो 5 अगस्त के बाद में जाओ कश्मीर की लड़कियों को लूट लो, वो आपका माल है, कहीं ना कहीं उस तरह की जनरेशन को टच करता है।
Well, let's wait for the investigations to get over. In any ongoing investigation, I don't think it's proper to make political remarks on such videos. So let's wait for the investigations.
कौन जान देना की बात करता है किसी वीडियो की? मैं इसलिए नहीं कि कौन सा वीडियो सही है गलत है उस पर मैं नहीं जाना चाहता।
आपने दुनिया को बोला कश्मीर में सब ठीक हो गया, मगर अब देखिए कश्मीर का मुसीबत जो हमारी थी वो परसों रेड फोर्ट लाल किले के सामने बोल पड़ी।
Did you notice how astonishingly circumspect these politicians are when all they needed to say was a simple, unequivocal truth? Terrorism can never be justified. They instead hid behind a maze of ifs, buts, whys and hows. Congress leader Pawan Khera claimed he won't comment during an investigation, yet strangely that restraint vanishes when Congress ex-MP Hussain Dalwai drags the RSS into a terror conspiracy. Ghulam Ahmad Mir rewinds 6 years ago to the abrogation of Article 370, searching for excuses to explain a cold-blooded killer's mindset. Mehbooba Mufti warns of a scary future while refusing to acknowledge the terrifying present that India is staring at. And Imran Masood, well, he delivers the final blow, calling these terrorists just bhatke hue jawan, misguided youth. Apparently not killers, but victims of circumstances. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the Motorola legitimate question on the News Hour tonight. Who exactly is misguided here? And is this relentless politics of appeasement pushing our netas to shield hardcore mass murderers and terrorists? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, National spokesperson of the BJP, Pradeep Bhandari, Sushant Sareen, senior fellow at the ORF, Sushil Pandit, activist. Also joining me is Advocate Nilofer Masood, National spokesperson of the National Conference, Anurag Bhadoria, National spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. But my first question goes to Advocate Umar Junaidi, political analyst, supports the Congress Party. And Advocate Umar Junaidi, I want to ask you, ये भटके हुए जवान है? A man who in a cold-blooded manner is educated, earns enough money, is trying to tell people that this is the way to martyrdom, Shahidi, he says. He is actually talking that suicide bombing has sanction of religion. Is he a bhatka hua jawan, or is this just the blueprint of the Congress Party that wants to, one way or another, justify and find excuses? They will blame RSS, they will blame Article 370, but they will not blame the mindset which is so evident in this video put on by terrorist Dr. Umar.
Navalka ji, the very first point is the nation's safety and security is in a threat, and that has to be addressed. Now, the very point is, the Islam says very clearly, suicide is haram. On the other side, Islam also says that if you are killing a single human, it is similar to killing of entire humanity. So the people who are not following the Islam and those who have their own definitions, and these cold-blooded terrorists comes on the record and says the martyrdom, the suicide bombing is martyrdom, it is permissible Islam. I definitely say that these fellows don't have any connection to the Islam. These fellows don't read Islam. They don't know Islam. And that's why we say these people are not related to Islam. These people have separate teachings, preachings of Islam, and that has to be investigated, who these fellows are, who are training them, who are spoiling the name of the religion. Just because of these cold-blooded terrorists, these people who destroy the country, these people who kill these several Indians, are now on the record and romanticizing the martyrdom and saying it is permissible.
But then why does Imran Masood call them bhatke hue naujawan? Why does Imran Masood call? Why is there cover fire? Condemn them in the way that they should be condemned. Why is cover fire being given to them?
That is the important point. The people who don't follow Islam, the people who have the wrong understanding of Islam, what we call them as bhatka hua insan.
Oh, so now you are justifying the bhatka hua insan. Pradeep Bhandari,
I am not justifying.
Well, 1 minute ago, I saw hope when Omar Junaidi actually said that, these are not the followers of Islam. And I almost thought that we were beginning to see reason here, till he says कि जिनको इस्लाम नहीं आता वो तो भटके हुए जवान है. So Dr. Umar, the terrorist who blows himself up, and the mind of the terrorist evident from that video is now back to square one, a bhatka hua jawan.
Well, Navika ji, this is the exact mindset that the Congress party that the Honorable Prime Minister spoke about, that today the Congress party is no longer a mainstream political party. It has become the Muslim League Maoiwadi Congress. Now, please look at a pattern, Navika ji. Before this video of the suicide bomber and the terrorist had surfaced, 24 hours back, there was a Congress leader, Hussain Dalvi, who said that circumstances or issues in Jammu and Kashmir were responsible for it. Just before that, you are Mr. P. Chidambaram, who gave intellectual cover fire to a terrorist, saying that circumstances create a terrorist. Now, after the suicide bombers video has surfaced, not once but multiple times, a Congress MP from Saharanpur, where a lot of Deobandis reside, comes and says that he is a bhatka hua naujawan. And not once you see that the senior leadership of the Congress party has condemned it. This has happened, Navika ji, precisely because this thinking and indoctrination comes right from the top of the Congress party, where as per Salman Khurshid, when Sonia Gandhi had shed tears for the Batla House terrorists, or when Rahul Gandhi had called the Indian Union Muslim League as a secular party, or when Hafiz Saeed, the global terrorist, had said that his thinking matches with that of the Congress party, all of this is a pattern. In the Red Fort blast, there were both Hindus and Muslims who were victims. But you will not see the Congress party even speaking once for the Muslim victims, whether it is Mohsin or whether it is Junaid. So what is happening exactly, Navika ji, is that the Congress party is behaving as a political front of the terrorists, because the Congress is justifying it, not just politically, but intellectually and socially also. But my larger point is the following. Why has nobody in the vote bank which the Congress party gets support from not openly condemned it? And why does the Congress repeatedly do so? Does the Congress feel that Umar is the representative of the Muslim community, and speaking against the terrorist Umar will reduce the Congress party's vote? If that is the scenario, then it is extremely shocking, and the Congress, if continues in this trajectory,
I don't know which vote bank they are talking about, but because after the Bihar elections, which is their vote bank, even the Congress is searching for that. But Advocate Nilofer Masood, I want to ask you, Article 370 removal is responsible for the terror attack. महबूबा मुफ्ती says कि जो कश्मीर की प्रॉब्लम्स हैं वो रेड फोर्ट पर आकर बर्स्ट हो गई. Are you beginning to now blame the government, the security agencies for a terrorist? टेररिस्ट को टेररिस्ट कहने के लिए आपके पास जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं है, तो आप बाकी हर एक्सक्यूज को यूज करेंगे? दैट इज द क्वेश्चन, नीलोफर साहिबा, दैट द वर्ल्ड इज आस्किंग टुनाइट.
Navika, I'll put a few important points before somebody else is given the chance. Number one, as rightly said by one of the panelists, that Umar is not the representative of the Muslims, neither he represents a community wherein we can say whatever ideology he has, the Jammu Kashmir people are following that ideology. We need to make a differentiation between that ideology, because our Home Minister has been saying it off and off in the parliament and outside the parliament, wherein he has been saying these are the handful of people of the Jammu and Kashmir who are having this anti-national.
So then why did Mehbooba Mufti make this about the COM? On day one, why did she make it about the COM? Why is she saying today that the problems of Kashmir went and blasted in Red Fort? Why? If these are terrorists who are a handful of people, why is the rest of Kashmir or rest of India supposed to identify themselves with them? Please answer.
See, Navika, I'm not their spokesperson that I will defend her or I will say why she has made this statement. Better would have been if somebody from PDP would have been called and she or he might have explained the things in a better way. But the thing is, what I want to convey is that whole Jammu and Kashmir cannot believe we are having the population of 1.50 CR, and handful of people are these who are following this mindset. So they need to be pinned out who are these people and what actually has happened to their mindset, why they are going that way, wrong way against their country. Because you know the Islam is the religion of peace. It never teaches that you have to go for the suicide, you should kill the innocent people.
Why were Hindus shunted out of Kashmir in the 1990s? Have you forgotten that, Sushil Pandit? Sushil Pandit, have they forgotten that? If it is not a certain level of hatred that has been built in against the Hindus, is this not that hatred that Dr. Omar's video reflects, the indoctrination and the hatred?
Thank you, Navika, for calling me to the show. Omar Nabi blew himself to smithereens. He made a mincemeat of himself in order to serve his faith. According to his own video, in his own voice, he offered this supreme gift to Islam in the khidmat of Islam. And here I hear another Umar saying, it has nothing to do with Islam. Islam doesn't say this. I mean, what a waste. And it's not just Omar Nabi all alone. You say a handful of Kashmiris, I must say they're quite a handful. We are still counting and they run into scores.
10 seconds, please. 10 seconds,
please. They run into scores of them.
It is the statement of our Home Ministry. It's not.
It is a statement of your Home Ministry which you seem to endorse.
My personal statement.
You seem to endorse that statement of Home Ministry.
You cannot connect.
Will you please keep quiet?
Madam, you've spoken. Allow him to complete his point. I will come back for counters to you. Sushil Pandit.
Thank you, Navika. The point is, these handfuls have been going on for the last 3.5 decades. And you pointed rightly to the 1990, when there was a massive exodus violently forced on us. They were handful then. They have been handful since. Every year these handfuls do handful of blasts, and we have lost tens of thousands of lives because of these handfuls. There is no end to these handfuls. There is an industrial scale assembly line creation of these handfuls created by minds who poison them. They have thousands lined up, and everyone knows where they are produced, how they are indoctrinated, what is filled in their heads. Yet it has nothing to do with their faith. Their faith doesn't permit it, and they will remain a handful all the time.
Sure, if the faith does not permit it, then why are excuses being made? And that is a very simple question, Mr. Junaidi. If faith does not permit it, why are people in the opposition parties coming out and defending this? They should outrightly condemn it. What's the problem?
Navika ji, I was listening to everybody very peacefully, and I want everybody to listen to me very peacefully. Two of the panelists spoke about Umar talking against Umar. That is the very point. There is the ideology which has been falsely preached to the fellows for killing. And I am Umar, wherein my mentality and my preachings of Islam is very different. And that's why I'm serving. I'm serving for the justice. I am serving people who are lacking justice, who are desire of justice. And that's what the mentality is. We have to identify it. We have to identify which Umar is good one and which Umar has to be blamed.
Of course.
Which Umar has to be killed.
Of course, that is
put
being
in
done. Only Dr. Umar Nabi is being called a terrorist. Nobody else is being called. But then why is Qaum being brought in? Why is Bhatka Hua Jawan? Why are circumstances being brought in? Circumstances. Pradeep Bhandari.
Navika ji, let me.
Navika ji, I challenge the political analyst supporting the Congress party. Can he show me one statement of Rahul Gandhi in the last many years calling out a terrorist as terrorist? He has called out lot. He speaks about lot of things in this country. When has Rahul Gandhi called a terrorist as terrorist without even a...
For you, it is not important what is... For you, it is not important to...
It is very important because he gives political cover fire. Even Lashkar-e-Taiba in Pakistan used to fight elections in 2018. Has Rahul Gandhi become a political friend of these radicals? No, Mr. Junaid, you need to answer this question. Where is Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who speaks about democracy? Where is Mr. Rahul Gandhi openly condemned this?
One at a time, Advocate Umar. Advocate Umar, you're getting adequate time. There's no point in, speaking over everybody else. But Sushant Sareen, are we in denial mode? Are we looking at political parties only obsessed with their vote banks? But even their vote banks, to come out and justify कि भाई ये भटका हुआ जवान है. Somebody saying Article 370 is responsible. Somebody else is saying RSS is responsible. Now, what happened in Gaza? Is RSS responsible for that? What happens in various other, in 9/11, was that because of the RSS? Are these people losing the plot, and are they completely in denial about the fact that just like Dr. Umar Nabi romanticized, actually put out this radical thought, the indoctrination that has gone on of a mind where religion is being attempted to be decoded into allowing for martyrdom through suicide bombing? Are they not recognizing what's going on here?
So now we've got a couple of things. One, people who say the constitutional reforms in 2019 is what has led to terrorism. They are in denial because there was terrorism even while that article was there on the statute books. So what was the justification for terrorism at that point of time? One. Secondly, how come all these misguided youth are not from Mehbooba Mufti's family or some other leader's family? How come these are kids from these less than fortunate families? What is the reason, and why is it then that these characters, these so-called elite characters, call them misguided youth? Why isn't Mr. Hussein Dalwai's kid a misguided youth? And if he has given proper training to his children and ensured that they don't take to this path, then why can't he and others of his ilk do similar things for the rest of the community rather than giving them covering fire? So these are very troubling questions. Now, if it was only about denial, I wouldn't be as concerned. I think this is not denial, this is worse. This is a kind of political depravity which these people bring to bear because they think that if they take a strident position against these terrorists and the ideology which drives them, they will lose Muslim votes. So they are essentially telling a section of the Muslim community that, look, we are here to give you covering fire. And that is going to be disastrous for these characters as well. Now, I agree with what Mr. Junaidi was saying, but that is only one part of the explanation of the religious doctrines. The other guys, including this fellow, for example, this character, the other Umar, the bad Umar, not the good Umar who's sitting on your show. The other Umar also found some religious justification, and there is within the Islamic theology a number of Muslim scholars who have come out justifying this. Now, the traditional scholars say that this is bid'at. Basically, it's kind of innovation in religion. And this innovation in religion is then used by terrorists to justify their acts of terrorism. So, for people to say that this has nothing to do with religion, they are being disingenuous. And in fact, if they actually believe in it, then why is it that the entire Muslim community does not come together, close ranks, and say these people are not part of the faith? They will not do that. Absolutely. Right? And this is exactly the kind of stand that the Muslim community needs to start taking against these people. People like me can say what we want to say because, you know, we study this issue. But the people who are in the field, if they are not going to take a very strong stand against this, I think they are looking at disaster for the community because
they're doing a disservice. Absolutely. They're doing a disservice to their own community because they are not differentiating between the good ones and the bad ones. And the bad ones don't need to get the cover fire. The bad ones or the terrorists, as they are, should be called that. Why justify that? But then comes in politics. And in politics, I want to play out Anurag Bhadoria ji. Rahul Gandhi ने 2011 में क्या कहा था? क्योंकि तब आरएसएस का कोई खास इतना एक्शन नहीं था, तब कोई आर्टिकल 370 का रिमूवल नहीं हुआ था. राहुल गांधी तब क्या कह रहे थे? आप सुन लीजिए.
It is very difficult to stop every single terrorist attack. The ideas that we have to fight terrorism at the local level, we have improved in leaps and bounds. But terrorism is something that is impossible to stop all the time.
Terrorism is impossible to stop all the time. 2011 में तो ये stated position थी. अब 2025 में क्या है?
नाविका जी, पूरी डिबेट सुनने के बाद मुझे लगा कि कवर फायर अगर कोई दे रहा है सरकार को, तो यहां पे आप ही दे रहे हो कवर फायर सरकार को. ये सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी की है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार में ब्लास्ट हुआ तो जिम्मेदारी तो सरकार को लेनी होगी ना. उसका इंटेलिजेंस डिपार्टमेंट कैसे फेल हो गया? आप इसका उसका किसने क्या बोला ये खोज रहे हो, लेकिन हमारे अपने 11 लोगों की मौत हुई है उस ब्लास्ट में. उसकी जिम्मेदारी तो सरकार को लेनी पड़ेगी ना, क्योंकि सरकार की नाकामी की वजह से हुआ. आपको 26/11 जो 9/11 में हुआ, मैं कहता हूं जितनी निंदा की जाए कम है. लेकिन पुलवामा, पहलगांव, पार्लियामेंट, जिस तरह से दिल्ली में दंगा हुआ, लाल किले पे ब्लास्ट हो गया, नूह में दंगा हुआ, इसका भी तो नाम कभी नाविका जी लीजिए. ये कौन जिम्मेदार है बताइए आप? पहलगांव का जिम्मेदार कौन? पुलवामा का जिम्मेदार कौन बताइए आप? जिस तरह से पार्लियामेंट में अटैक हुआ जिम्मेदार कौन? नूह के दंगा में जिन लोगों की मौत हुई जिम्मेदार कौन? लाल किले पे अभी ब्लास्ट हुआ जिम्मेदार कौन? ये जिम्मेदारी भी तो तय होनी चाहिए. किसकी सरकार में हो रहा है कि खाली आप विपक्ष पे टारगेट करेंगे? मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, हमारे पंडित जी यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं, अशोक पंडित जी, इनसे पूछिए 1991 में किसकी सरकार थी जब पलायन सबसे ज्यादा हुआ? उनमें घंटे बोले गए थे, 36 घंटे का समय किसके समय हुआ था? बीजेपी की सरकार सपोर्ट कर रही थी उस समय. सवाल उठाइए बीजेपी की सरकार पे, क्यों नहीं सवाल उठाते? अगर विपक्ष को इतना टारगेट आप करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि किसने क्या बोला, जिसने जो बोला उसको अपने, जिसने जो बोला उसकी तो जो भी होगा स्क्रूटनी हो जाएगी. लेकिन हमारे अपने लोग
लीजिए ना फिर स्क्रूटनी.
सरकार की
अनुराग भदौरिया जी, मैंने आपको स्क्रूटनी करते हुए तो नहीं सुना. जो लोग कह रहे हैं भटके हुए नौजवान है, उनकी स्क्रूटनी कीजिए. इमरान मसूद कह रहे हैं भटके हुए नौजवान है.
क्यों नहीं पूछ रहे आप? हिम्मत क्यों नहीं जुटाते हैं? सवाल तो सरकार से होगा ना. सरकार छोड़िए इमरान मसूद को, सरकार किसकी है ये बताइए.
इमरान मसूद को कवर फायर आप देंगे, गलत बात को कवर फायर आप देंगे. और जिस दिन ब्लास्ट हुआ था उस दिन आप हमारे साथ थे, सुने होंगे मेरे सवाल उस दिन, लेकिन वो आपको भूल जाते हैं. नहीं भूलता है तो कवर फायर देना नहीं भूलता अनुराग भदौरिया. सुशील पंडित, अनुराग भदौरिया की फरमाइश है कि यू शुड होल्ड द बीजेपी रिस्पॉन्सिबल इन 1990 राइट अप टू 2025. बीच में यूपीए सरकार शायद हुई नहीं थी.
नहीं, इनकी याददाश्त थोड़ी कमजोर है।
बीच में
जब हमारा पलायन हुआ था, भदौरिया जी आपको मैं याद दिला दूं, सुनिए थोड़ा धैर्य से। जब हमारा पलायन शुरू हुआ, जब हमारा पलायन, अरे यार सुन लो यार, सुन लो। जब हमारा पलायन शुरू हुआ तब राजीव गांधी की सरकार थी, फिर सरकार बदली, वीपी सिंह की सरकार आई। ना राजीव गांधी की सरकार में बीजेपी पावर में थी, ना वीपी सिंह की सरकार में बीजेपी सरकार में थी, बाहर से सपोर्ट कर रही थी। लेकिन मुलायम सिंह यादव वीपी सिंह की सरकार में थे, मंत्री थे। भूल जाते हैं आप, उनको याद रखिए इस तथ्य को। वीपी सिंह की सरकार।
जवाब दीजिए अनुराग भदौरिया, आपके सच का पर्दाफाश हुआ है?
कब हुआ था
बताइए।
1990 में।
अरे मैं पर्दाफाश कर रहा हूं, इनको पता ही नहीं है, बैठ के बात कर रहे हैं। बीजेपी की सरकार, सुनिए, बीजेपी की सरकार,
बीजेपी बाहर की सरकार,
बीजेपी सपोर्ट कर रही थी, ये भूल गए इस बात को।
सरकार के अंदर थे।
अरे बाहर से सपोर्ट कर रही थी, बाहर थी, बेकार की बात कर रहे हो, झूठ बोल रहे हैं, टीवी डिबेट पे। चंद्रशेखर की सरकार थी, बीजेपी सपोर्ट कर रही थी। 10 दिसंबर को चंद्रशेखर जी की सरकार बनी थी और 21 जून तक चंद्रशेखर जी की सरकार थी, और आप सपोर्ट कर रहे थे भारतीय जनता पार्टी उसको। क्या बात कर रहे हो, बेकार की बातें करो बैठ के यहाँ पे, आपको मालूम नहीं है।
सुशांत सरीन, आई वांट यू टू बी द आर्बिटर।
नहीं याद है, हमने तारीख बताई 10 दिसंबर।
What Sushil has said is a statement of fact. What Anurag Bhudaria is doing is what he does all the time. He's a rabble rouser. He comes on television and does rabble rousing and raises unnecessary issues. He doesn't stick to the topic. And if he wants to talk about responsibility, then there were at least 4 dozen, if not more, terror attacks between 2004 and 2014. I don't remember the Congress government ever saying that we take responsibility for each and every one of those attacks, and that yes, we will be held accountable for it. I don't think they ever did that. And there were multiple riots which used to take place under Congress regime. I don't know when which minister of the Congress party or prime minister of the Congress party ever resigned because a riot took place under their watch. So this is unnecessary. This is the same thing to deflect and derail a discussion from a very, very important topic, Navika, which is what has been happening, and the fact that there is a certain section among the Muslim community which is taking to the path of radicalism, and that needs to be stopped. In that, of course, people like you and me certainly have a role to play, but I think people from the community itself need to play a role.
And political parties that depend on them only for a vote bank and not their own well-being. Anurag Bhadoria, मैं ये कतई नहीं कह रही कि इस्लाम खराब है, मैं कह रही हूं कि इस्लाम में जो रेडिकलिज्म घुस गया है वो इस्लाम में रोकना पड़ेगा, और ये हम सबका दायित्व है। आप इस बात से इनकार कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, मैं कब इनकार कर रहा हूं? मैं तो सवाल आपसे पूछा ना, कि आप जो कह रहे हैं बार बार विपक्ष को टारगेट कर रहे हो आप, कि विपक्ष की, मैं पूछना चाहता हूं,
जब हुसैन दलवाई, जब इमरान मसूद, जब महबूबा मुफ्ती, जब फारूक अब्दुल्ला सवाल उठाएंगे तो मैं विपक्ष से सवाल पूछूंगी। आपकी मशीन गन से मैं डरने वाली नहीं हूं। आप चिल्लाएंगे तो मैं डर जाऊंगी, ऐसा नहीं होगा अनुराग भदौरिया जी। If you think you are going to heckle me and make me keep quiet, that's not happening anytime soon. It hasn't happened for 35 years. It will not happen in the future. But Pradeep Bhandari, on the issue of accountability, please respond.
Navika ji, we are extremely accountable. This is why you see that immediately after the blast, our security forces acted, and in fact, it prevented a large-scale terror action which these individuals wanted to take with more than 2,800 kgs of ammonium nitrate. We have been in opposition in the last 50 years. I challenge Anurag Bhadoria, show one statement of the Bharatiya Janata Party leader which has backed the terrorist or given so support to acts of terror. When 26/11 happened, it was the Congress party which gave cover fire to terrorists, saying it was RSS ki sazish. It was the BJP leader which stood with the Congress party and said act against Pakistan, but Congress did not. I want to know about this vote bank which wants statements from leaders for justification of acts of terrorism. अरे क्या बात कर रहे हैं अनुराग भदौरिया? अयोध्या और बनारस के अंदर ब्लास्ट हो जाता है, आप गए थे इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट के अंदर, ये कहते हुए इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट के अंदर की टेररिस्ट को छोड़ दो, आप तो पद्मा अवार्ड देना चाह रहे थे टेररिस्ट को। अनुराग भदौरिया, आपकी सरकार
अनुराग भदौरिया सांस ले लीजिए। According to information that is coming out from the investigations, 6 cities were on target. 6 cities including Ayodhya, including Varanasi, Nagpur and the RSS headquarters. But you will not talk about those. You will not talk about the fact that there is a suicide bomber who gives a chilling recipe of what his religion tells him to do for attaining martyrdom. There is a problem there, my friend. That is the problem that we need to look at. These are people of India. These are people of India who are going on the wrong direction, but because of radicalization. What are we doing to stop that? And may I also tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this entire bomb blast and this entire terror attack was being actually planned, and their code words were biryani, dawat. Biryani was when the bomb and the explosives were got, and dawat was the day they had decided that the blast will take place. Chilling statements, chilling investigations, and chilling suicide bombers' mind and video that should give us a wake-up call. But here, all we see, complete cover fire. And that is the worrying part. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we even did a short survey on social media. Congress MP called suicide bomber Umar a misguided youth. Terrorist shielded for appeasement? Yes, say 82%. This is nothing but formula of appeasement that is being followed. No, say 18%, can't say 0%. 82% people believe this is all being done for the sake of appeasement politics. Well, the writing is on the wall. I think we need to wake up and smell the coffee. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.